evening. I would say that I wish I was with you. I couldn't be in GPS tonight, but the truth is I'm taking about 4 days and doing my summer vacation with my family in Florida, and I would have to say I wish you were with me. But I want to give you just a couple of updates on the goals, and I'll start with goal 4, the one that deals with community outreach. And as most of you know, we just finished a big food drive. We had over 1,800 items that came in from our small groups, and our small groups are continuing to engage in the Life Center. I just heard about Sean Tapp's group. It just has been down there remodeling Grace House, and there's other groups that have been doing projects all over the city. Stay in touch with the blog on btcchurch.com, and you'll find out things you can do and things that are going on in the community. Goal 3 is missions, and there's several things happening there. We have about 379 people that have signed up to be on support teams at this point, but one of the big things that's happening in the next couple of months is we've got several missionaries coming home. The Wilsons are coming home in just a few days. The Maddoxes are coming in early August. The Butlers are coming in late August, and Josh and Patricia Hammond will be here in mid-July. So it's going to be a summer full of missions, and of course we have a team in Myanmar as I speak, and just all kinds of things going on the mission field, so stay in touch. Number 2 is life groups, and now there's about 106 groups right now, and as we said, a large percentage of those that went through that turbo run of groups. There's a lot of those still intact. And this summer, one of the things between now and fall we've asked all the groups to do is do the Dave Ramsey material. So if you haven't gotten to that, get that scheduled, do your fellowships, take the summer off, whatever you do in groups, but get that Dave Ramsey material in because we're finding great reports from the groups who are doing it. And then the number 1 goal about multi-site, there's 2 things I want to tell you about. First of all, Hong Kong. I just came from there a few weeks ago, and they're kicking and they're planning and they're shaping their strategic plan for what's going to happen in the Hong Kong church. But there is a wording issue in goal 1, and we've put in your packets tonight kind of a navigation note on that. I want you to read that, and I want you to respond. Just kind of look at that as it relates to the church in Hong Kong, and we want to make sure we're square with everybody on that goal. But then the larger picture is we told you on Washington Square Mall, sort of as we've talked about a site. In fact, the Edge, I just looked at the numbers this morning, is running about 25% ahead of last year. So the growth in the Edge continues. And we're looking for Site 1. And as we promised, the drawing back here of what Dave Skiffington, the architect, came in and did is he basically said, if you guys would remodel the mall, here's where you could put an auditorium, here's large areas for children's ministry and nursery and a small auditorium, and there's a second floor drawing, much like this, that allocates large blocks. Now, there's a couple of things important about this. When you look at, when he says this corner could be children's ministry, 9,992 square feet is the equivalent of 3 of our gyms. So as we get into this mall discussion, this place is huge, and it's amazing what we can put into this space, and this includes a 2,100 seat auditorium. But we've said this $4 or $5 million price tag is too much for us to tackle immediately until we get some more growth. So here's what we're contemplating, and over the summer we're going to massage this and see what we can do. That we're contemplating phase 1 would be to actually purchase the mall sometime, I don't know when, maybe first of the year, next year, purchase the mall and start a site there without remodel. Kind of like what we did on the day we did the lunch over there, move several hundred people into there, make it a site from here, and our first 2 or 3 years, we would just create a site at the mall. We would do a campaign of some sort to raise the money to purchase it. Then the second 3 years, if that grew and we continued to grow and we could accelerate this, then we would talk in terms of a larger campaign to build out the $4 or $5 million project. So as you can see, we've got preliminary drawings, we've got preliminary concepts, but our next step is to see what it would look like. We met with engineers last week to move in and what kind of occupancy issues there are. Could we move in and just do a site and get started over there and do an extension of this campus, and then look at over the next I don't know, somewhere from 3 to 6 years, look at doing the complete remodel where we put in a 2,100 seat auditorium, large areas for children's and nursery, and then upstairs there's plenty of room for middle school and high school, and one thing we've always wanted is a small auditorium, but we're looking at those plans, and this summer we'll be shaping that, processing that, and trying to determine what to do with it.